One of the best at Bind.
Yeah, you know, looking back at the history, you think about the semifinals of Challengers Playoffs Stage 2, May 1st last year, and it was these two teams against each other.
Oh, damn.
Jeez, Fnatic picking up the pace on this. They're already out on the B site. Shados in there with two, and oh, right, Redgar's gone swinging out wide, maybe scared of some utility coming his way. Instead, he has gone down for nothing. We're into a 3 versus 3 as Fnatic reset and look to push into the late stage of this round. Just real quick, what I was going to say, Fnatic, you know, they played up against the old, what was Gambit at the time, the Masters 3 champions we have here, with a very similar roster. And, you know, this was the comp they were running at the time. That game decided who went to Iceland, and we're in the same boat here.
Let's see. They've tried to bait the rotation, Mitch. It hasn't worked. They basically ran all the way back. They pulled off one, but Shados is still waiting. Already gets himself a third, a fourth kill in this round, and looks to try and ace it in the pistol. It's left on to Mystic. He might just want to try and deny getting that ace with Shados, but he won't be able to.
Your Sage are going to have that res online coming into your bonus round more than likely. I mean, it is huge for them. And for Fnatic, pistol round loss in the start. Look, they try to up the pace in towards the B site, but they just met the stone wall, and it's not too often you see these classic rounds on the attack work out in favor of that attacking side.
You can see already Defo. He's wanting to try and farm up as many kills as humanly possible. Spike already dropped to the floor, and he's got a nade to try and catch out Mystic in that corner, who would just about survive. Of course, for Fnatic, the main thing in this round is making things costly. Like, Mech have not gone for the same level of rifles. Obviously, Bind has much more when it comes to those close-range battles. Like, we even see a Judge as a regular weapon on this map, so...
Soft Defo falls back and nades it, and that's important because, like, okay, look, he's able to get the kill to start with, but you notice he's got 100 HP when he's in that fight. That nade was just to delay them and let him be healed back up, and in a round like this, maybe that stopped them from losing an extra rifle. Maybe it stopped them from losing those 2 players in Bath, giving weapons over and things snowballing. It's those tiny little decisions that are just, they're smart calls, right? I really appreciate seeing them in a round like that, because you just don't want to give your opponents of classics. They have very low chances of getting anything done. Why would you help them, you know? And too many teams do.
Chronicle looking to get a little bit spicy in the early stages of the round again. We're going to see this wall trying to almost force them into that close-range battle. Shados still managing to survive around it, and well, Magnum's hoping he can try and get an elevated angle, but at least for now, that's not going to be the case as Fnatic grind to a halt.
Pumping the brakes. You don't want to run into those weaker weapons and crossfires and really head first into a meat grinder in a lot of these rounds if you do blitz in. But with Fnatic having no control elsewhere, you know, at this point, there could easily have been a push coming up through a mid. They've got to go forward eventually, and it's through this choke point. Again, it's Shados to stop them. He'll only get the one, and the trades come in quickly. Fnatic at least getting towards that site. They pulled it into a 3v2, but they really don't want to lose any more weapons at this point. They are up against such a weak buy from M3C. And with Magnum quite low on HP, I was getting worried with that frenzy coming around the corner. Although at this stage, they should really expect another player to be towards the spawn. They'll safely get a plant, and this round should be recovered.
10 seconds left.
And Rekkar's waited, at least still have his flash online, but, well, he's basically just going to have to run through utility to try and get anything done. However, for Nats, there's an opportunity to at least do some damage. You can see Magnum already falling back into a slightly more passive position, and with a remaining couple of players out towards long, like, a victory here for Nats seems impossible. And you can even see they've got contact and then a swing. Like, for him to isolate both of these jewels is nigh on impossible, and Boast is going to be ready and waiting. Fnatic are on the board and
to take aggressive control. And what did we notice in the last round? Fnatic ended up stuck outside B long with no control on A. No idea if these guys had pushed up. They had to just run into the site. This time, playing a default is sort of what I had hoped to see out of this early round from Fnatic, because this avoids those problems, right? They can still try to bait out some of that util early, like the wall that's being used in towards bathroom, and they're not left essentially stalling with one piece of map control, like 4 players on long waiting behind a wall for the blitz to come out. I like this, but the problem is Mech haven't gone aggressive, and they haven't given them any opportunities for that default to pick a player off. They're not even playing inside hookah.
No, they went for some initial long control, maybe fighting for the orb there, maybe expecting the same thing I did with at least trying to gain something from this. And they're also using that same deep screen in towards the showers to almost just shield any information if anyone's gone in that direction. The problem now, though, for Fnatic is that time is starting to tick, and they haven't managed to really garner much map control. Sure, they've got Hookah, but there are 3 players currently waiting for them on B if they're going to head in on this direction.
Yeah, at least they're not running into the Viper or the Sage this time. The slowing ability definitely a lot lower on this side of the map, but there's more players here for Mech. That dash on his sight, Durka went undetected even still. They had no idea this guy was here. Oh, an enigma that completely opens up the round. Now they've got the plant for sure, even with that low time. And the blitz strategy finally needs some success. Shados. Oh, this is dangerous. Res, but no wall. He's going to bait it. Use it, that body to fight out in the open, and it won't get them anything. The punishment there immediately. Fnatic now know where Shados is, and they've got the 2v1. The plant, not ideal. This isn't really something that you can stop if Shados goes for the defuse, but he's unlikely to stick it, right? At least that's what Fnatic are hoping. They better up the pace. He's already got it halfway. Here comes the swing, but the shots are not there to match too. In the context of just playing gameplay is that I would favor Fnatic easily coming into the next round because they've got those ults and so on. But
I know where this is going.
You know, Gambit have got a few. Sorry, Spectre that he's running, so gives him a decent fight. Those pistols, though, are not going to be able to crunch in quite the way they hoped. Maybe they are. Oh, you're in trouble, Boaster. Trailblazer, I mean, if you have a player behind you, maybe, but
I guess he didn't expect that many people.
I think he could hear them, though, running around. That was a big misread. Either way.
Oh, Chronicle left alone. Again, he's got all his utility, but most of that's just going to be saved for the next round. Of course, any kills he can get, I guess, reinvest that for him. Drone just flying above, just having an aerial view of the scenario. Just spotting out the scenery and Durka. Well, Fnatic Mitch have all 5, which I feel like is a rarity nowadays.
Yeah, actually a team that we only just noticed a moment ago or a map ago that they were really good at cycling their utility, cycling their it does give them a hell of a lot to work with here, as you're saying. Boaster's going to be spotting out a few right away on long. That's interesting, actually. You're going to have a Hunter's Fury pop catching them as they fall back, and then the showstopper. I've even put in the orbital strike. Oh my god.
He's got Spike.
Well, that shouldn't have happened.
There's no way he wins this. Thank God. Completely surrounded. Herding sheep. That's basically what Fnatic just did.
Oh, it's so disgusting, man. Where are you going to go? You going to try run elbow? Yeah, go through that orbital strike. You going to go long? No. There was nowhere that was safe. My God. And you know, this is an interesting thing because Fnatic, they trade their ult economy, which was massively in their favor. And only 3 ults, you know? 3 ults is a lot, but when you've still got a Viper's Pit and Seekers, that's kind of fine in resetting your ult economy.
And you destroyed their buy as well. Yeah.
Just wrecked them, just taking all their money. Unbelievable.
Well, now we go back to those deadly pistol rounds, although thus far we've not had those same sort of heroes. I guess they've not really been given that much of an opportunity. I feel like Fnatic have been such a strong unit that even if there has been a slip up or somebody being caught out, the trade's been almost instant. And you can see that they're taking these sort of rounds very seriously. You're going to use the Seekers, spot out any of those aggressive positions. Nats has just been killed by Durka, and also with 3 players getting an assist. So I feel like he's just been absolutely owned. And the remaining players looking to try and come in on the flank. Maybe they can catch Magnum. He's got too many angles to watch, but still going to get away with it. And then Mystic's there to help.
Yeah, nicely done. And they'll get away with it flawlessly in the end. Look at their money. They've got, I think, 3 players maxed out on economy. And they don't need to reinvest into this round. Maybe shields and a little bit here and there, but these are set up for their attack side. Mech need to make a stop. I mean, here and now. There's no more room for error.
Yeah, they're just trying to spam as much utility. You can just see the instant change of pace for Fnatic. Defo trying to find something with his showstopper, gets absolutely nothing for it. A spam, though, will at least catch out Durka, but there's already the Viper's Pit down for Fnatic.
Oh, orbital strike, gonna catch Magnum going back. They'll spray as well, and nothing connects on him. Just a bullet or two, a scratch, but it's enough For him to stay around and get back into that Viper's pit. Still no plan to be secured, but they know that the pit itself is safe. Watching for the crossover on it.
Yeah, their main worry right now is that any player peeking out from lamps could do some serious damage to them crossing over to the side. So just trying their best to make sure that there's at least a little bit of comfort there. They've also got to be careful just from spams. Like, where are you actually going to plant this spike? You can't really go for default just in case, but actually, I was about to say, no one was spamming. I was like, hey, are you just going to let him get it for free? But no, they're just waiting for the right moment.
30 seconds
It does feel
left.
like a big missed opportunity there by Mech when they use the Seekers and they start to hunt down those players. You've got a Viper able to get out of the site. The orbital strike doesn't catch them, but no one runs up to take the space afterwards either. You know, we have this constant spray going down, but lack of information from Mech leaves them with a pretty passive play on B. Good to at least get one, but
10 seconds
Shados
left.
cannot commit any further towards this. If Boaster went down there, I think the round was over. I think jumping up on top was ludicrous, but yeah, it looks like it might be over anyways. 1v4 to win out, and well, that's just going to be too much to ask from the IGL. At least a round on the board for Mech, and they've done it flawlessly as well. Going to help out their economy problems.
Yeah, I think this round almost came down to just Fnatic overplaying it a little bit. Like, they were tapping the spike, almost just trying to bait that rotation, like hoping that somebody would come through. Rock for this team. So pretty much since its inception, he's been a rock for this team, but now even starting to throw in the operator a little bit.